It is my privilege to work with Dr. Rob Weiss and Dr. David Fawcett, experts in the field of sex addiction, porn addiction, impaired substance and sex behaviors, authors of books including Sex Addiction 101, Prodependence, and Lust, Men, and Meth, among many others. As clinical educators, they provide cutting-edge information regarding sexual compulsivity and drug addiction to professionals around the world. By volunteering weekly on sexandrelationshiphealing.com, they answer questions live from recovering addicts, loved ones of addicts, and therapists. Dr. Rob and Dr. David actively provide treatment at Seeking Integrity Los Angeles. Dr. Rob, when is a residential program the right choice?
You know, I think a lot of people struggle in outpatient therapy and really do their best. But if they're doing a lot of outpatient therapy, they're getting support from their community or 12-step, even if they're seeing a doctor and they're still struggling, then there might be some reason to get out of that environment and go to residential treatment.
Dr. David, what is co-occurring substance sex addiction, and why does this type of paired or fused addiction require specialized treatment?
Well, you know, combining drugs and sex is very common. Examples could include a heterosexual man who uses cocaine and porn before seeing a sex worker, or a gay man who uses meth and poppers as part of his party and play sexual activity. But all these behavioral expressions really are just symptoms of one underlying addictive disorder, and addressing just one piece of that will ultimately fail. So it's important to treat all those expressions of addiction as well as the underlying issues that create or complicate it.
And Dr. David, I would say what we've needed for a long time is specialized treatment in drug addiction, because people go to a center and they really get the drug piece, but they don't want to talk about sex. They're too ashamed. And then they don't get to talk about the piece that really is underlying the addiction.
So who is the typical client that comes to Seeking Integrity?
Well, for me, it's a man who has unfortunately messed up his life related to sex. He has a partner who's furious. He or she doesn't trust them, doesn't want to live with them, doesn't know which way is up or down because of all the lying and manipulation. My clients struggle with education and work issues, all of it, not able to date, all of that stuff related to their sexual behavior.
And if there's drug involvement, we often see people who are struggling to maintain sobriety from their drug or alcohol of choice, but get relapsing or keep tripping it up over sex or porn issues. And ultimately, that's really what needs to be addressed.
So what advice do you have for the partner or spouse or parent of someone struggling?
Boy, what I want to say to every parent and spouse is to forgive yourself. No matter if you love an addict or a troubled person, you're my hero. And I don't think there's any reason for you to pick yourself apart or look at what's wrong with you. I think you have an incredible strength to hang in there with someone who's troubled because you love them.